All right, so looks like the patriarchy falling down on the job, messing up big time. Yeah, because they're supposed to be keeping the ladies down, right? And so we're supposed to fight against them, right? Women are just, we would be doing great things, but the men are getting in our way. How? We don't know. It's subtle. You'd have to have a PhD to be able to study it. You can't see these things, but they're keeping women down. Or are they? These numbers fascinate me. Headline, Greenville News, so it might be true. Woman entrepreneurs take control of block in downtown Greenville. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Yeah, big business boom in Greenville. You can't miss that if you've tried to drive, well, anywhere here. But the big boom in business is women. Wait, how is this? Wait a minute. How is this possible? Out to a variety of women in Greenville. I'm going to get to that in a minute. New study, 40% of business owners nationwide are women. You think, aha, there's the patriarchy, 60% of men. Yes, but in 1972, women-owned firms accounted for fewer than 5% of all businesses. Process that for a minute. 72, women-owned businesses account for percent of all businesses. Today, it's 40%. That is an insane amount of growth in a relatively small amount of time in human history. A sea change. Is it patriarchy's keeping us down? It's terrible. Well, who's driving this business growth? Oh, well, it's probably white women, right? Because of the race? No. The study for women of color, Latinas and black women, the growth in female businesses overall. And today, account for, are you ready for this? Nearly half of all business owned by women. Wait. Stop. Put the brakes on. Put the brakes on. I'm sorry. Half of all businesses owned by women? So that, okay. Latina, black women, okay. So if women own 40% of the businesses, so we're going to, for those of you in Common Core, right, that's like 40% out of 100. It's like 40 out of 100, right? Okay, so like half of the businesses are owned by Latina and black women. So that means 20% of all businesses in America are owned by Latinas and black women. Okay. That's amazing because 6% of America's population. That's it. That's unbelievable. How has this gotten by the white supremacist patriarchy? And my point of telling you this morning is that when you hear these talking points, women kept down, got to vote against men. Why? Thank you. In fact, we're doing better than fine. Women, they are kicking it. They are. And so, on the one hand, I love how the left does this. You see the Greenville News doing, should be celebrating. It is probably the best, no matter what your color, your race, doesn't matter. If you're American, honestly, if you look at all of world history, by this, the way that we have lived for centuries, families and groups and societies, and particularly gender. I mean, gosh, this has got to be one of the best times on earth, okay, ever, to have been a woman. And we're walking around all heads hanging. It's just so bad. Why? I don't know. I heard it on CNN. I'm never going to get anywhere in life. Yeah. Well, the women who didn't have time to watch CNN because they're too busy running their businesses would have something different to say. I'm going to get into this more today. Now, think about this. In America, last 200 years, right? I mean, do you realize, women have only had the vote for a little over 100 years. Women have only been able to own property free and clear for about 150 years in this country. I mean, do you realize 150 years ago, we were hotly debating laws about whether the property that essentially was a woman, say you inherited or somehow had found a way to earn it, which was very for a woman because of all the restrictions on you and property in our country, even 150 years ago, was mostly passed between male members of families. I mean, so if you inherited on the day you married, all of your money went to your husband and your money, your land, whatever. It was possessed by your father before that. That was the reality. I don't think people understand where we were 150 years ago. I don't think people understand where we were in the 1970s with 11% of businesses owned by women. I mean, we have come so far. It is the best time ever on earth in human history to be a woman. The last 40 years have been like a miracle when compared to the rest of human history. I mean, we ought to be, jumping for joy in the streets. We ought to be dancing in celebration. I mean, if you are a woman, you can do anything. And the beauty of it is you can do anything and society won't look down on you. You can be a hard-charging CEO. You can own a business. No one looks down on you. You do that as a man. There's still some stigma with that. Nothing wrong with it. I'm a supporter of it. I think it's great. My husband did it for a while. I think, both, it's good. But for a man, there's still some stigma with that. With a woman, you can choose that. And that is not in Arizona with Kirsten Sinema, who thinks women leech off their husbands. But other than that, as women, you can do whatever you want. You will be completely respected. I mean, there is no better time to be a woman. I think it's better to be a woman and a man in our society today. I don't mean to get off on all of this. I'm going to do more on this later. But the way that this is spun in the media to just sow division when there is no reason to sow division. And you know what the most damaging part of all of this is that when they do this, because they're trying to get Democrats votes and get women to hate men or whatever it is they think they do. The most damaging part is when they tell a woman, you're not going to make it because the patriarchy. You think you can't go out and start a business? Statistics say otherwise, especially if you're Black or Latino. What a crock. They are killing it. There is nothing standing in your way in this country right now. Nothing. It's all imaginary. Now, listen, okay, there may be a few things. Like, for instance, if you want to be an NFL linebacker, you're 5'2", and you're a woman, you're probably never going to be able to do that. But yet. I don't know, with the Chinese and the genetic engineering, maybe. But in the future. But there's nothing standing in your way. And we are so depressed. Look at this. Look at this study. This is just one in my inbox today. 46% of young Americans believe the U.S. is more racist than other nations. This country, where Black and Latino women have a bigger percentage of business than their percentage in our society. It's just down. I don't know. I know the kids are around now. You're getting them in the car. So I wanted girls to hear this, and I want boys to hear this too. You are living in an amazing and a fantastic time. We should celebrate this daily. We should be dancing in the streets. But no. New poll, 46% of young Americans believe the U.S. is more racist than other nations. You can't get anywhere in this nation. You can't. You just can't. What a crock.